Hello there and welcome back. We are on page 32 at problem 12. I know problem 11 was a beast, so if you want to skip problem 12, that is perfectly okay. Both 12 and 13 are going to be tough, so if those really just kind of blow your mind, skip over them. It is okay. You can still pass the test without these very difficult ones. But if you like this stuff like I do and you want to know how to do these, just stay tuned and I'll walk you through them. On number 12, we are doing another mixture problem. It says if 60 milliliters of water contains 12% chlorine, how much water must be added in order to create an 8% chlorine solution? So the question is how much water must be added. We are going to dilute that first solution down to an 8% solution. And to give you an example of where this might be important, and I have no idea how this works with the swimming pool, I'm just making this up. If you have a swimming pool or a hot tub and you're supposed to maintain a certain percentage of chlorine to keep bacteria from growing, maybe it's supposed to be 8%, and you take a reading and you realize it's 12%. It's way higher than it should be, and you need to add water to dilute that down. That's the kind of story that goes with this problem. Now, 60 milliliters is not a hot tub. 60 milliliters is like an eyedropper full of water. So this is not a swimming pool problem, but that's a good concept to help you relate to how this story is unfolding. So right now, we have 60 milliliters of water that is 12% chlorine. Okay, so let me try to draw you a picture. Let's say this is a test tube. It's pitiful. I'm drawing again. Okay, so here's a test tube, and let me make a copy of it so I can use it here in just a minute. And in this test tube, there is 12% chlorine, and I'm going to use this pink color to do the chlorine because I can't use it for much else. So 12%, this is not 12% by any means, but I have to make it big enough that you can see it. So the rest of it is water. All right, so let's say that this is approximately, this is the chlorine. And this is the water. And then the entire, well, let me not go there. Let's just leave it at this. Okay, so I need to know that 12 hundredths is the same as 12%. And in a minute, I'm going to need to know that 8 hundredths is the same as 8%. So here we go. What I need to know is in the current solution, the 12%, let me just say it that way. In the 12% solution, how many milliliters are chlorine and how many are water? And I know that took a while to write, but it's worth it. So in this 12% solution, that means that the water is, it's chlorine or water. So chlorine is 12%. So here we go. We're going to say, let me set it up like I've taught you. Chlorine and water. So the chlorine is 12%. We have 60 milliliters of this stuff. So let's do 12 times 60. That's 720 divided by 100 is 7.2 milliliters of chlorine. And we really don't need to figure the water or the not chlorine, I should say. That 7.2 is what I needed. Okay, so this 12% is 7.2 milliliters of the solution. Now, here's the solution that we want to make. We want to say, I need to get that chlorine content down. It's too high. So we're going to reduce it down to 8%, which means that we're going to have to do what? We're going to have to add water to fill that space. If you cut down on the pink, you have to add the blue, is what we're looking at. So we still will have water. We'll have more of it, actually, because we're cutting the chlorine content down to 8%. So we want to know what that is, and then how much water we're going to have to add. So we need to do this same process again. Okay, and this time we want to use 8%, and we want to use this 7.2 milliliters of chlorine. We don't want to change the chlorine, we want to add water to make the diluted substance. So we're going to say 100 times 7.2 is 720, and 720 divided by 8 is 90 milliliters of water. So it didn't say how much water is in the second solution. It said how much water must be added. So you're looking at the difference between the two waters. So you're looking at the difference between 60 and 90. And so in order to dilute this properly, you would need to add 30 milliliters of water. Okay. All right, and that's your final answer. Let me go ahead and explain. All right, I'm going to stop this video, and I will see you in the next one where we will be mixing cashews and walnuts. So again, if you want to skip that one, that's perfectly fine. Just go on to the next module. If you want to know how to do it, meet me back for the next video.